Buon anno, buongiorno ragazzi, come state? How are you folks? My name is Vincenzo and welcome to my channel, Fountain Pen Therapy. Well, wishing you all again a very, very happy New Year 2025. May this new year bring us all lots of health, peace, joy, and lots of fountain pen therapy. And that's what I got for you today. Well, we're starting off the year with a real blast, if you will. With this, what I call, or what they call, a new, large, huge titanium mystery pen. I don't know where this comes from other than China, but it's a very interesting offering. It's got that number 8 Jinhao nib. Is it a Jinhao product or is it someone else? I have no idea, but if you are curious, stay tuned. The review is coming up. Okay, so we're back for the pen, and we're going to look at the pen with my macro camera. I mean, this is huge, okay? Let me see if my camera can focus here, and just the quality of all of the pen, you know, the manufacturing of this pen is pretty good. I mean, this feels good right there. It's not loose. The clip is stiff but usable. There's not much in design here. This is a mystery. You turn this knob and it's a little loose and then it comes off. But this thing doesn't move, in my opinion. It's just a barrel that you'll see will accommodate the ink. So this, to me, is just a decorative finial there, or a blind cap. I don't know what would you call it? It's the first time I've seen this. And we'll take a look at the nib in a second, but when I open that up, first of all, it's greased very nicely. You see the O-ring there. And there is the feed tip. And then you get in there. And if I take my flashlight, I don't know if you can see that, but all you see is this ball, okay? And we'll let the ball drop. There it is. And then you just got a cavity there. I think it's an eyedropper in titanium. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to put this thing back in there because it just sits there. I don't know if the camera can see that, but it's just sitting there. It's not going in the barrel. And I'm just afraid that might just, sit on the tip here, or maybe it doesn't. Hold on. Well, certainly it'll block it. So I'm not sure what the purpose of that ball is, frankly, because if this goes this way, it'll just touch, it'll just land there and block the entire ink from flowing. Now, is it meant to kind of, when it goes this way, the ball goes the other way? And frankly, I just don't know. So I'm inclined to remove that ball from the picture until somebody from our community can tell me, boys or girls, can you figure this out for me? So that's another mystery with this mystery pen. And the beauty, nice and tight, beauty is that nib, because now I've got a Jinhao medium-sized nib that is, sitting there. Now, does this nib unscrew? Yes, it does. So you can accommodate, fine or an extra fine, because you can buy these Jinhao nibs on their own. So there you have it. I would imagine that nib is, typical Jinhao medium. It's going to perform fairly well. One thing I did notice is capping. It's kind of a little buggy there, a little finicky, but it does screw in, and when it does, it does. In that regard, how many turns? It's 1. So it's 1.5, I would say, which is not bad. It's just that every time I got to get it back, for some reason, it kind of snags on me. But otherwise, that is a gorgeous, big, huge pen. I'm still wondering what that ball is all about. Well, let's take a look at a wider shot just to see how comfortable this pen is in our hands. Be right back. Okay, so we're back with the pen with a wider view just to show you the comfort level of this pen. It's a huge pen. It's got a nice girth to it. Very nice girth to it. It is a little bit on the heavy side. And does it cap? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it sure does. It makes it a very heavy, but it's kind of, because it posts so well, it kind of sits in that area of my hand. So it is quite comfortable at the end of the day when all is said and done. So there you have it. Very, very comfortable. What's in that? Let's take a look at what's in this cap. Anything interesting? All I see is I see a cavity there. So this thing might, in fact, stay nice and wet. We shall see. We shall see. So there you go. The huge, large titanium mystery pen with a Jinhao nib. Wow. Let's do some comparisons and measurements, and then we'll do a writing sample. First comparison I'd like to do is with other Jinhao giants, if you will, just in case this is indeed a Jinhao manufactured pen or a Jinhao offering, and they're just not advertising it as such. Or it could be just an unknown pen maker who decided to put a Jinhao nib on this thing, and doesn't have a name. But in terms of girth, you compare it to, this is the X159, this is the 159, the metal one, and that's the 9019. So I wanted to compare it, especially with the 9019, in terms of girth. But you could see there is a difference. This is a lot more comfortable. How does it compare to the 159? Let me just unscrew that for you. A little more comparable to the 159, but again, very different. So we can't say it's coming, from the same mold, so to speak. What I find is that nib is a little too much. It's really recessed in the feed for some reason. So I may want to just take another nib. I like my nibs to be a little more sitting more. You can compare it to that. I don't know if you can see that, but I just got the sense that that nib is a little bit too deep in the unit, and it's not really the pen. It's the unit itself. I might want to swap that eventually just to give it a different look. But there you have the differences. Now, how does it compare to this one, which is the simple steel? There again, different look. So can't say it's coming from the same mold. So there you have it. That's that first comparison. Okay, let's compare it to some other Chinese titanium offerings. These are the two Asvines, the V200, and I keep forgetting the number of this thing, a P36. Okay, and the P36, you can see where it's situated. It's much bigger than either one of them, and both of these pens are big pens. Wait, I apologize. You can see that it's not fully screwed in, and that's because, there we go. It kind of, okay, but it even, I've done it and it's still much bigger. It's bigger than the TI 36 from Majon, bigger than the J16, both of which are very big pens. And this is a 22 Studio. I bought this in Italy at Stilo and Stile. I have not reviewed it yet. I'm going to get to it eventually. Nice pen. But these are, in fact, my titanium pens in my collection, if you will. So there you have it. And big mystery pen beats them all. Capped, anyway. Here they are uncapped. Again, big pen, but the V200 is kind of caught up there a little bit. So is the J16, and so is my T22. There you have the pens uncapped. Let's cap them. This one caps just as badly as this one here. So both of the Asvines are not great cappers. What I find is that this mystery pen caps very, very well, as does fairly well the Majon, and the J16 kind of just sits there. Never very good capper, and this doesn't cap at all. When I cap the pens, the Asvine V200 is huge, but it's not capping properly. I think that these two are the only two real posters, if you will, and very surprisingly posts very, very nicely. So given the weight, you would think that it would be very bad experience posting this pen, but it doesn't, because it posts not only securely but very deeply. So there you have the pens posted. We'll do some measurements. I'm curious to see the weight of that pen, and then we'll get to the writing sample. Okay, so we're back for the writing sample. First of all, the ink. The ink I want to use in this pen is this Pen BBS 153, which is entitled Burning of White House. That's interesting. Pen BBS ink. Here's a swatch of the ink. This is in my ink swatch, gray swatch book. Where is it? Here it is. That's the ink. You can see it's a black ink with kind of a gold glitter there. So, or it's a shimmering ink. I'm not a big fan, but I figured I'd give this this ink a try for the new year, so to speak. Okay, so we're going to shake that up to get all that shimmer. I want to actually film it on camera because I'm very curious to see how all of this will work out. So I'm going to, we have no choice. By the way, I did try to put in a converter, a big converter that would fit that number 8 Jinhao, the big Jinhao converters. Doesn't fit. So that is another indication that I believe this pen is meant to be eyedropped. Do I have enough in there? Okay, I think that will do the trick. So we'll screw that back on nice and tightly. It already has some grease on it. I can feel it on my hands, which is another indication that it's meant to. This is really finicky. I got to tell you, you almost have to try it, start really back in order to get it to screw properly. I don't know how long it will take for the ink to descend. And I'm doing this all live for you. Let's see. Not there yet. I'll get off camera. We'll see how long it takes, and I'll let you know. Well, typical of a eyedropper, I guess. Took some time for that ink to kind of descend into that feed, etc. And we're not talking seconds, probably talking minutes. It's finally there. And let's see what this gives us. So I don't know what to call this, but I'm going to call it the Large Mystery Titanium pen. The nib. Right off the bat, I can tell you that this Jinhao medium, the tines are a little too tight. I'm going to have to widen it out a little bit. I got to skip there. Nib is the Jinhao number 8 steel medium nib. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just the ink slowly descending. And keep in mind that this is a shimmering ink. The ink is the pen BBS Burning Wall Street. Again, I'm just kind of losing patience with shimmering inks. Good for artists, but if you want to write properly and get a good writing experience, I'm not getting the shimmer here, so I'm not thrilled. I guess unless you use a wide, a broad, or a 1.1 or a 1.5 stub, I would not recommend it. We'll see if the shimmer comes out when it dries. So in terms of wetness, I would give it 8 on 10 for wetness. It's not soft, as I've seen some, it's pretty stiff. No line variation there. Smooth, some pleasant feedback. think I hear that nib a little too much for a medium, but again, that could be the ink. Okay. Is it constant? It's getting there. I just sensed that there's a skip there, since the feed is just lagging just slightly. Okay. Okay. Now, reverse. Yeah. Extra fine line actually works really fine. It does work properly. So likes and dislikes. Well, likes is that I just wish somebody would give it a name. It's just very irritating. I don't know who I'm buying from, what it is. And again, I've seen this pattern with Chinese pens, unfortunately. Likes, the big size. The TI finish is nice as well. The comfort for a big heavy pen is fairly nice. Sorry about that. The build is not bad. I'd give it about a 8 on 10, just because the filling system, I'm not sure how all this is supposed to work. It's kind of a big question mark to me. And also that just the closure section is kind of, it bothers me that I just can't, it locks. So I have to almost twist it way back and then try to, and even then, you see, it's like, hey, come on, get in there. I don't know, maybe there's something I'm not, and then eventually you get it. I mean, that's, if you want to uncap it, cap it quickly. I also like the fact that it posts. Value. Give me a second. I'll check the value. I just checked it a few minutes. It's going for $142 Canadian. I have my serious reserves. I don't think the value is there. I'd give it a 6 on 10. It's a Jinao nib. It's a nice titanium body. So if you're into this titanium, large, heavy, posts nicely, I guess it gives it some character. One thing I wanted to compare it with, one second, that I should have compared it right off the bat, is to see how it compares with my Sailor King of Pen and the 149. Yeah, there you go. So much bigger. So if any of you wondering, it's much, much bigger than either one of them. Okay, so it's a huge pen, and it weighs quite a bit. So there you have it. I have my reservations. I'm not sure $140 is good value. Glad I bought it because it kind of satisfies my curiosity, but I can't say it has my entire recommendation. It's up to you. If you like big titanium pen, well, you certainly have it here. There you go. Okay, so there you have it. Mystery pen. Mixed feelings. I can't say I can endorse it totally just because of that finicky closure. It's got that Jinao nib, but so do 9019s, and they're much cheaper. I don't have to spend $149 to get a titanium pen. I've got the TI-36 from Majon. I've got the J16 from Asvine. Really nice products. And then I've got even a Jinhao, I forget the number, but a Jinhao titanium pen that I haven't reviewed yet. Titanium is popular, but is this no-name mystery pen worth $143? The verdict's still out. But look, folks, if you were curious, there's my review. I think you can probably spend your money elsewhere. Not a priority. Took one for the team, so to speak. So, folks, enjoy your pens. I'm still on holiday. Actually, I'm not sure I'm still on holiday when this when this review will get published. But when it was done, I was still on holiday. That's for sure. In fact, it was just barely Christmas Eve when I did this video. And looking forward to holidays with the family. And then I'm going to go to Florida and play some golf for a week and get some relaxation before we start that grind again. Thank you very much for joining me. Please subscribe. If you like this video, please let me know. Thumbs up. If you don't like it, please let me know as well. Just tell me why. And we'll see you soon. Ciao.